Hi, this is Capun Piso. This is part 3 of my series about Christ-psychosis, believing God, which is of course happened in the brain in the 16th century, and the devastating consequences. Can you change the weather by praying to God? Well, in the 16th century, they believe you could.
A contingent of priests, armed only with holy water, set off to confront the monster face to face. Finally, the priests halt.
Christophrenics.
Before them towers the object of the villagers' fears, a titanic river of ice. The glacier is one of many in the Alps that are swiftly advancing farther than they have in thousands of years. The Alpine peasants are surrounded by the encroaching ice, which is engulfing their villages and farmlands. They believe there can be but one explanation. The glaciers have become possessed by the devil.
See how stupid these people were? They destroyed science in the 1600s. The stupid people, the Christophrenics, the Christians.
Priests sprinkled their holy water and performed the rite of exorcism.
See how stupid these people were? They destroyed science.
With God's help, they hope to stop the glacier's devastating advance. No one that frigid day had any inkling that the glaciers that threatened them were just one piece of a climatic puzzle that persisted from the 14th through the 19th centuries.
They burned books. They killed all the scientists. They retards.
The effects were much less pronounced than the last major ice age that ended about 10,000 years ago.
Psychotics.
Society had reordered itself after the fall of the Roman Empire and the tumultuous Dark Ages.
Yeah, thanks to the Christians.
It was the era of feudalism, when most people out a hand-to-mouth living from the land controlled by the medieval nobility. It was an age witnessing the rise of urban centers, the growth of trade, and the escalating strength of society's most powerful institution, the Catholic Church.
Yeah, psychotics. Schizophrenic retards. At this time, Europe, the whole Europe was infected with Christ-psychosis. Delusion. People are crazy. Two major events happened. 1492, the criminal Columbus infecting the natives with Christianity. And then also the surrender of Granada in Spain. Then the persecution of the Jews and their brothers, the Arabs. They were all getting along. And then we have Martin Luther in the 1500s, established Protestant. To fight the heresies, the Protestants, and the impious homosexuals and sinners, the church established the pious Inquisition. Jews and the sinners and the heretics, they were responsible for the plague and also the bad weather.
They concluded the erratic climate was the evil handiwork of their neighbors, whom they accused of witchcraft.
See that? See how stupid these people are?
The statistics are scary. In 1563, the city of Weissenberg burnt 63 women to death as witches. In the canton of Bern, over 1,000 people were killed as witches. You talk about considerable history.
This ain't happening in the Roman Empire at all. They were much more intelligent than the retards.
In 1484, Pope Innocent VIII issued a decree blaming Europe's cold, destructive climate on witches.
See the more. You're going to have a very bad day today. I'm going to send lightning. See how stupid people are?
Through the 17th centuries, foul weather and witch hunts went hand in hand. According to some historians, 50,000 men and women charged with brewing up diabolical storms were burned at the stake.
See that? Very stupid people, these Christians.
The Little Ice Age had ignited death and turmoil all across Europe.
Well, they're still at it today in the 21st century. The only way you can destroy evil is by purification with fire. Burn the witches!
Final
Burn
moments
the
of these
witches!
victims.
Here you go, Christians.
But there is a fundamental
Learn about
mistake.
your piety.
How did fire actually kill people on the stake?
Burn them.
Did they slowly burn to death? Or could they have died by inhaling the flame? Reverend John Hooper, the Bishop of Gloucester, was burned at the stake for refusing to convert from the Church of England to Catholicism.
A big mess over there.
He was said to slowly burn to death, remaining conscious and praying, even as his face blackened from the
See,
flames.
and all this intolerance happens when one believed in one God, enforcing disbelief. It never happened in the Roman Empire. It was very tolerant because you have many gods. So you didn't have all these religious wars and all this crap. And this is the beauty of the Roman Empire. It was, Christianity is the one that started pedophilia, masochism, perversion, and all this torture nonsense because of beliefs. And this is the way they treated the...
cycle of religious intolerance and violence. The Huguenots and Catholics fought in 8 wars of religion between 1562 and 1598. The bloodiest clash was the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre in Paris, ordered by Catherine de' Medici. Thousands of Huguenots were killed.
Yo, Christ-psychosis in action.
Brian talks to Dr. Sestak to get his expert medical opinion on the effects of rope torture on the human body.
I didn't think we'd take that long, but that's what it does to the human body. Oh, God.
Oh, the piety.
All right, guys. Well,
Beautiful.
It's time for you to get ready to assume.
And they didn't use that only on sinners or witches. They also use it on the traitors in Jews. So they can tell them where their wealth was hidden. Very smart. Realized that Jews and Muslims were traitors. The Jews were very wealthy because they traded all the time. But they were sinners. And anybody that accuses them and says, hey, wait a minute, that's a Jew that's doing all this bunch of stuff, you go to the Inquisition and they give you their wealth and they torture them. That's the reason a lot of Jews were persecuted for their money, their wealth. See, Christianity loved pain and suffering because their main God was crucified and flagellated and all that. And blood was sacred, so they imitated that. And now, nobody can beat Christians in torture.
Later should fit the crime.
Yeah.
If the sin had been lying or blaspheming, the sentence would be carried out on the mouth with the pear of anguish.
Yeah. Beautiful Christian device.
Assault on the human body.
They put on the girl's vagina too.
Are used in breathing, in eating, in communication, and the pear violates all of those.
Iron, and it consisted of 4 petals secured around a central thread. Closed, it resembled a pear in size and shape. But as the handle was twisted, the petals slowly opened. A number of them still exist today, but there are no surviving accounts of what this implement actually did to the human. The pear could rip apart the mouth, but also if the terror and injury it inflicted could actually lead to a heart attack.
In many respects, the sheer horror of what this is going to do. Something is going to be inserted against your will into your mouth.
Teeth are supplied by a massive number of nerve receptors, so the damage would cause immense pain.
You know, these confessions, they result in a lot of money. They use them in Salem, Massachusetts, also, burning people. Well, they didn't actually burn, they hanged them over there. But torture is by inserting something, causing pain. What about impaling? We have, of course, the greatest Christian impaler of them all, impaled all the Muslims, and that was Vlad Dracula, from the Order of the Dragon.
Real name
Christian
was Vlad Dracula.
Impelling. Impelling, yes.
But one man developed this method of torture to a terrifying extreme.
Yeah, Christian. Blood Dracula.
Vlad Dracula.
Yeah. Go to the
His
dragon.
people called him Vlad the Impaler.
Believe it or not,
The reason
very
that we remember
typical
Vlad because he's
Christian.
a man of quite exceptional cruelty.
It's a Christian order.
His bloodlust was so legendary it inspired the Count Dracula myth that the victim might survive fully impaled for up to 2 days.
See, none of this is taught in school. None. Because Christianity is a mental illness. It's a psychopathy. And everybody should realize that. Well, this is typical from people that worship a crucified and a tortured man whose blood is sacred and saves. This is psychosis. No needed in the 21st century. Pace di oro.